And then you just drop trout and expose your balls for like 10 minutes. What's up, Superhumans? BT here. If you are new to this channel, if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, well, first of all, welcome. I am stoked that you would spend your precious time watching one of my videos. If you like content that's going to help you move, feel, and perform better both mentally and physically, if that's something that floats your boat, please consider subscribing. In the last video, I mentioned that the overwhelming majority of the products I am sent are massage guns. It gets kind of old sometimes. However, every once in a while, a company sends me a product that's incredible. And so today, I want to share with you 3 products that I believe are game changers. As you know, I have tested and tried my fair share of wearables, i.e. fitness trackers, and all of them are kind of the same. However, this first product, I believe, is the first wearable that's going to make significant difference in your quest for better health. This is a continuous glucose monitor by the brand NutriSense, and it is the first wearable that actually gives you real-time feedback on your body's response to the foods you eat on a hormonal level. Now, I first saw this on my buddy Drew's arm. I don't know if you know who Fit to Fat to Fit is.
Extreme experiment of Drew Manning.
One man is taking a journey from being fit to getting fat.
But we've been going to the same gym for several years. We've been friends ever since, and recently he did his second Fit to Fat to Fit. It's where he gained a ton of weight and then really quickly lost it. Now that's not healthy, right? But Drew did it in the most healthy way he could. He had a slew of doctors looking over everything, and a major component of that was his hormones. He needed to understand how every individual food was affecting his blood sugar. Now, as we eat and food is broken down, glucose, blood sugar, rises. Your body secretes insulin to help lower that blood sugar. However, if you're eating too much sugar too often, your body's sensitivity to that insulin decreases, and you can end up with something called insulin resistance. Insulin resistance can lead to some serious health problems like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and even diabetes. So why do I consider this CGM a game changer? Well, first of all, the fact that it's readily accessible and mostly affordable to consumers like you and me is honestly kind of mind-blowing. That wasn't always the case. The food I eat is going to affect me differently than it affects you. So something I eat that increases my blood sugar or spikes my blood sugar might not do the same thing to you, and vice versa. So having that data is incredibly beneficial, and it's never been offered on a wearable like a Joovv, which is my go-to, or a Garmin, or a Fitbit. Inside is an applicator, and this goes onto the back of your arm. Essentially, you just punch that in there, and a little sensor is going to be attached to your skin and the, what would you call it? Needle. The needle is going to be in your arm, and it's going to continuously monitor your bloodstream. What separates NutriSense from everybody else? Well, when you buy NutriSense the first month, you're going to have access to a physician or a doctor that's going to help you make sense out of the data. Having the data is great, but if you can't make sense of it, if you can't apply it into your life and actually make meaningful change, well, then that data is pointless. And trust me, the data can be kind of confusing. If you're really serious about your health, especially if you're like a pre-diabetic, life-changing, life-saving, all right? So check that out. Moving on, how would you like to increase your testosterone up to 200% without pills or hormones? Well, the research of photobiomodulation suggests just that. Okay, so in the 1980s, the old big brains over at NASA were researching how certain wavelengths of light, i.e. colors, could actually affect things such as energy production, inflammation, or even cellular regeneration. And what they found was pretty intriguing. Exposure to sunlight could in fact improve all of the above. More specifically, however, additional research found that red light, a certain wavelength of red light, could in fact improve ATP production, but more specifically, the available energy in the Leydig cells, which are primarily found in testes, that are responsible for testosterone production. That might have been pretty confusing. Let me make it simpler to understand. You basically expose your balls to a certain type of red light, and it will improve your testosterone production. So I've been using it for years, and I actually have my own product. Not my own product. I don't make this. I actually have my own red light device. It's from a company called Joovv. 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 And essentially how it works is you place this thing here, and then you just drop trowel and expose your balls to the red light for like 10 minutes. Recently, the company Joovv reached out to me and they were like, "Hey dude, we love your videos. Have you ever tried Joovv?" I was like, "Yeah, I actually have my own." And they're like, "Have you seen our new stuff?" "No, I haven't." "Well, let's send it over to you and you can test it out." Sweet. So I have here the Joovv Go 2 and the Joovv Go 2 dock, charging dock. So this is Joovv's most portable red light and near infrared solution. So red light and near infrared do different things. Click here to learn more. As you can see, this one's so cute. It's got a little red handle. I'm really digging that. This, I assume, is the charging dock. It sure is. It's gonna make my Joovv look like an iMac. And then they also send you some protective glasses. So, oh cool, I'm gonna look like Jose Canseco. They're very green. How do I look with my hat here? Oops. So it says Joovv, optimizing cellular performance. So we pop that up. We're introduced with Joovv user manual, Go 2.0. Ooh, a very nice hard case. That's cool. It's okay, so it's not really red. It's like an orange red, like a tangerine. Digging that. It's very small. As I said, this is Joovv's most portable solution. Oh, that's interesting. As you can see, it's substantially smaller than this system. I don't know what this one is called. I'm sorry. But as you can see, many times tinier. All right, so it looks like this just sits on here like so. Oh my God, I hate twist ties. This is not a long cable. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. So you can see the little red lights have come on. But essentially, yeah, I would just like bake myself in red light. Thanks, Joovv. As I burn out the sensors in my camera. Now last, but certainly not least, is a product I've personally been trying to track down for the last year. Ever since hearing that the UFC uses this to assess the readiness of their fighters, I have been most intrigued. This is the Omegawave, and it's different from other wearables. This does not track activity, rather, it measures a person's readiness to perform activity. And it offers one distinct and massive difference in measuring that readiness compared to something like, let's say, a Whoop, which is my go-to. All right, so here we have the Omegawave. And like Whoop, Omegawave tracks cardiac function. And you've probably seen one of these, right? It's a chest strap. We've got the Omegawave sensor on here. You've probably seen it from like Polar. However, the Omegawave strap has this metallic little bit which turns this into a closed loop ECG. Now, ECGs, electrocardiograms, are like the gold standard of measuring cardiac activity. So this will measure your resting heart rate variability, etc. But where this really differentiates itself from Whoop is with this. And I know it's just a simple cord, but Omegawave actually tracks brain activity. So cardiac function is great, but if you're going to take an assessment of a person's readiness and omit the central nervous system, that's like a pilot coming over the loudspeaker and being like, "Hey, we're doing great. Here's our cruising altitude. We're flying at this rate of speed. However, it's going to be a bumpy landing because we don't have landing gear." Like, it's just super incomplete. But the Omegawave uses something called the DC potential to chart that activity, and measure it. Now, if you want to learn more about the DC curve and the DC potential, go ahead and click up here. But here's what I really like about Omegawave. First of all, the test is very easy to perform. It doesn't take long at all. I think it's 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. And the data it gives you is incredibly easy to understand. And even beyond that, it gives you protocols to follow to actually make the change you need to make. So let's check out the app and I'll show you what one of those tests look like. Here's my last test. On a scale of 1 to 7, 7 being like the best, I got a 6.3, very good. And if I scroll down here, you can see windows of trainability, all right? For different aspects, I've got endurance, speed and power, strength, coordination, and skill. And I was in the green on 3 out of 4 of those. Speed and power, not so much. But I can touch on each one of these and it'll give me training advice. Today's training may involve endurance activities performed at any level of volume and intensity. I love that. It is really easy to quickly assess not only my readiness, right? Like with Joovv, you get a green. With Omegawave, you're getting splits of that green. Okay, I know I'm green, but maybe I'm green in 75% of the areas I can train, but maybe red or yellow in another one. And then beyond that, it's actually telling me exactly what to do so that I can train at my peak of what I'm actually capable of training of. It's going to give me my training zones, like if you're a zone trainer, like there's zone 1 through 6. So that's going to give you like your heart rate. You'll see these green numbers, like zone 2 is 111 through 139. That's your heart rate. That's what you should be training at. So I can scroll up. It's going to give me even more. It's going to talk to me about my stress, my autonomic balance. So this is going to give me a description, guidance. It's going to give me a description of my parasympathetic activity, sympathetic activity. Again, what to do. This is really in depth, right? Like you got to have a pretty sound understanding of this. And then it's going to give me my DC curve and it's going to tell me what's going on with my DC curve. It's going to give me some guidance. Where I think this has serious value, if you're a very professional level athlete, an elite athlete, and you want like the absolute best assessment of what you can do on that day, or you're a coach who wants to improve his oversight and his ability to train his athletes and understand how his athletes are ready to perform, Omegawave could be amazing. All right, so quickly, all of these products have been used extensively and tested. However, this is just my introduction. I haven't had them for very long. So it's going to take me a month or two to test it out long enough to get enough data to give you a thorough review. If that's something you would like to see, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell down below so that when I do release those videos, you'll be notified. Thank you to Omegawave, Joovv, and NutriSense for sending these over. I am so stoked to use these and put these in my own personal use. I think they're going to be really incredible. Now, if you like the video, please hit the like button. I can't tell you how far it goes with the YouTube algorithm and getting this video in front of more eyes. It helps me out more than anything else. So if you want to see the channel grow, if you want to see me make more videos, hit that like button. Currently, I am doing 2 different giveaways. I've got the Bob and Brad massage gun, plus I've got the Toro bands. Actually, let's make that a third. I will give away my own personal giant beastie red light from Joovv here. If you want to be eligible to win any of these 3 prizes, make sure you subscribe and leave me your IG, what do we call that? Your handle down below. That way I can notify you if you do win. Guys, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.